Well, I guess it would be like this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mm, I'm sorry. We're so sorry, Uncle Albert, but we haven't done a bloody thing all day. We're so sorry, Uncle Albert. But oh wow, that's right. Chipotle black bean dip, in case you were thinking that I was doing that. Oh, shit, you know? Oh, excuse me. You're getting shit all over your hat. It's not shit. Lick it off. Doesn't really have that much of a smell, this shit, does it? Well, what's in this shit? Black beans, red pepper, diced red pepper. Oh, red pepper, which means this is what red pepper means. Diced red pepper, water, salt, citric acid. Okay, that's what red peppers are. Sesame, tahini, canola oil, onion, etc. Okay. Surprised to see they're still putting in arsenic as a preservative. So you remember? We were talking. Yeah, you. I know you in particular. I know, no, I don't mean the person behind you. And wait. I'm telling you to take a moment right now. I mean, right now. I mean, not later. I mean, now is when you can do it. And I'll tell you something. If you don't do it, you don't do it. But I'm telling you, do it. Okay? You get it? I'm telling you to do it, do it, do it. I know what's wrong. My monitor's off to the side, so I'm going looking over there. We wiki producers have a lot on our plate. I was at the Topanga Film Festival the other days, from the 17th to the 20th. And it was just my second. And I came away feeling that there's something fundamentally wrong with the film industry today. What I saw at this place were some very intelligent, creative people and hardworking people, reliable people, good people, in other words, lots. And actually, in that town of Topanga, or not town, it's it's an unincorporated um, part of Los Angeles City, I think, or is it Los Angeles County? I have it's a feeling. I have it's a feeling that it's Los Angeles County has these unincorporated areas. That's where the sheriff go. Oh, the sheriff, as well as they go into places like West Hollywood, they got a big sheriff department. And I have a feeling the fundamental difference, the fundamental difference between the sheriff's station in Hollywood, West Hollywood, and say the Lost Hills Sheriff Station, a place where I happen to have a particular. Um, in, oh, you see, we've done a little bit of inside work, you know. Please don't make a point of saying which place we're talking about. We don't really want them to know that we've been recording what is going on, so that when we sue in a court, we will be merely presenting actuality to people who believe that they have no choice but to accept the way things are. Fight City Hall. I'm gonna say something to you, Buster! Or Busterina. I like people. I really do, even when they're total complete nincompoops. As long as they're not, like, mean to me. Which actually I get a lot of. As you might gather, a person who sits in his number 216 room here in this particular place that I'm in with my door open is not your typical guy. And therefore, because I'm not your typical guy, I am subject to being reined in by the enforcement sector of our society. The enforcement sector being the executive branch. Whatever the ah! Okay. How do you spell ownership in modern day? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get it. Oh my gosh. Everything's backwards with these. Apple, I would like to kill Apple. But just kidding about the killing. Don't quote me on that. Oh, the guy wants to kill Apple. Put him in jail. Put him in jail. Of course, nothing so silly would happen. But a person who seeks to uncover dastardly deeds that are committed on a daily basis by a very large, interconnected system. The entire enforcement sector of a tripartite society. As some young man pointed out to me, oh, Plato was talking about tribalism. Well, whatever Plato said, I'm sure I read about it, and I'm sure I have some idea. And I'm sure that what I'm saying is quite influenced, because I'm sure I've had this idea. I mean, I've heard what Plato said for a long, long time. I've had it in my back of my head, even if I'm very vaguely aware of what it meant. But I actually read it, I read Plato, seriously, as a homework assignment, and then I sat in a lecture hall and listened to some guy spout off about Plato, So, I do know something about Plato. So, clearly the fact that I've come up with a tripartite setup, which only happened within the last, 3 days, and it all of a sudden just hit me, because I was only focusing on the owners. That was the ones. And then I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. My interaction has never been with owners, other than the fact that the owners call the enforcement people to get rid of me. And that's what happened. That's what happened when I was in front of Bruce Springsteen's 300-acre estate in an area within the pale of the Sopranos. Very rich area, meaning a lot of the Soprano types live there. But nobody knows who they are, because that's the idea, that's what it is. That's the very kind of place it is. And you know what? If some sort of fucking bagookie, like a bookie, starts coming and snooping around, we don't want them. And that's what dancing is to those people. Some kind of skabooby who's upsetting the notions. That's why I've been in jail 6 times. Sex! Arrested 5. I would not give 5 ducats for that land. I'm sorry, I just like that there's this guy Fortinbras who's on the march to overthrow Hamlet's uncle, the king. And he's talking about with Hamlet. Well, because Hamlet comes up to him and says, because they're overlooking this vast plain in which these gigantic armies are assembling to kill each other. And Hamlet says, what is going on here? And Fortinbras, who, see, he's having nothing to do with this bullshit. He's taken his men to take over Hamlet's uncle, which, by the way, I mean, that's nothing against Hamlet, because Hamlet is really on his way to kill his uncle, which is what his father, in ghost form, told him he must do. And Hamlet, because he's a liberal, that's the problem. That's it. It's because Hamlet was a liberal. That was the problem. See, if he'd been a conservative, you would have just if you were John Wayne, you would have. I mean, who John Wayne played? I don't know if John Wayne. I don't know. An interesting question. You look at it. You think about a man who played a character like John Wayne. I mean, the characters that John Wayne played, and you think, well, how much is real and how much is boo 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 boo? I mean, and actually, that's the job of an actor. So it's not as if you could blame the guy for acting differently than he really is. I mean, he's doing a really good job of it. Gotta praise Superman for acting the way he's acting. If he's acting, the question is, in his dealings with people, and even with himself, is he the man who holds his head high, or is he a guy who knows how to put on faces, but is really a manipulator and a power monger? And I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that about John Wayne. I have no idea about who he was. I think politically he was an idiot. That's my feeling. That's my opinion. Ann Coulter and I can agree on a couple of things, and that is, there are a lot of fucking idiots out there. The difference between me and Ann Coulter is I accept the possibility that, at least in some ways, I can act pretty idiotically myself. And that's the fundamental difference.